Alright boys, in this video we're going to be going through a brand new strategy that I've been working on. It's a freaking amazing strategy. I've had like about an 82% win rate using this strategy, and it's pretty much just getting in at the retracements of the move. Now a big thing that you guys see me doing a lot on live stream is taking breakouts. Breakout trading is the form that I learned how to trade, which is the most profitable form that I trade. But I'm starting to focus on is retracement setups. Now what do I mean by retracement setups? Instead of getting in at the breakout, waiting for that small pullback and then waiting for a small range to then execute that push. Now there's a couple moves that I took on my personal time so that you guys can see why it worked out and understand this whole strategy so that you guys can then use it and then continue learning as a trader and becoming a better trader overall. Let's go ahead and get started here. I'm gonna get my Zoom tools over here so that like I said guys, I like to keep my trading as simple as possible. I don't like to make trading so difficult and hard to understand. I like to make it as simple as possible so that you guys can then learn it and then become great traders. Okay, so first I want to make sure that I'm with using this strategy is I want to make sure that I find my trend. So in this scenario we are in an uptrend. We are creating higher lows. We are creating all these higher lows here, showing me that price is bullish. So if price is bullish, we understand that we are looking more for buys. So these are a couple trades that I took. So we are creating higher highs, higher lows, right? All these highs over here are higher highs. So we understand, okay, price is telling me that we are in a bullish state. So I took a trade, I believe it was on Friday if I'm not mistaken, somewhere over here. Yeah, so right over here guys, I took this beautiful trade. I understood, okay, price is clearly bearish over here, but price is ranging at this very moment. So this was my range, correct? So I knew that if we were to respect these lows over here, we would still be in a bullish state because this is market structure ready to switch, right? So over here we're making lows, making lows, making lows, lows, all these lows over here. This is a downtrend. But once we started to respect some lows, right? So once we started to come down here, this was our lower high. Then we came down, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. So that at that point, I knew that we were bullish, right? We were ready to start to switch that trend to the upside. So what did I do? I pretty much just waited for price to give me a small no trade range. This is what I like to do. I went down to a lower time frame. I understood that this is my level of support right over here because we have multiple reactions at that area. Once I saw multiple reactions, I knew that, okay, we got to start looking for some entry. All I did, guys, was go down to the 5-minute time frame here. And I'm going to show you guys exactly why I took this setup. Very, very easy, very clean setup. Price came down, started to give me this trend line situation over here. This trend line, beautiful, beautiful trend line right over here. We're creating this range here. Correct? So once we started to peek through, all I did was start to grab my Fibonacci tool, this Fibonacci tool right over here, just drew it from the low to the high, and then I waited for my setup to play out, right? We got that beautiful rejection over here. So all I did was wait for a little pullback. If we respected that low, I executed my trade pretty nice here. Beautiful trade. It kept stops right below my 5618. It was actually a little lower. It was something like this. I kept price just below this area here, underneath this low, and then started to target my highs up here. Now that was the retracement of the push. So notice you could have entered up here, right, with the breakout, but this is going to help you not get faked out. Because you're understanding, okay, if price makes a high, what is it going to come down to create? It's going to come down to create a low, right? So if the low starts to create, then you understand that you just need to wait for some confirmations on the lower time frames. Go ahead and show you guys this confirmation that I took. Look at this confirmation, guys. Price came down, started to give me rejection wick, right? So once price started to come back up and respecting these highs, I knew that if we came down and respected this low, we're gonna start to come back up. All I did was wait for that 1-minute candle closure, looking pretty nice to continue up, keeping stops below this area here, to then target my highs. This was about a pretty nice move here for me. Once price started to come down and create this new level of support, I knew that if price doesn't break that area, we could easily start to bounce, right? So that was one setup that I took. It's using pretty much the lower time frames as well, guys, in confluence with the overall time frame setup. Once I caught that push, beautiful push, I started to move on to the next trade. Now the next trade was pretty much right over here. So right over here, I noticed so price had this area here of resistance. You know, we have multiple reactions to that area. So I knew, okay, price can possibly start to come back up. If price comes back up, we know, okay, price is right here. So now we understand, okay, this is a range. So we created a high. If we created this low, created this high, created this low, created this high, what are we in, guys? We are clearly in a bullish state in the market. We know that price is ready to go up here. So if price is ready to go up, what are we doing? We're looking for entries, right? We're looking for entries, waiting for price to set up. So all I did was, again, go down to the 5-minute time frame and waited for my range to form. Where was my range forming? My range was right over here, guys. Right over here. So my newfound range was right here. That was my whole range. Our level of support was here. We started to break out of this range. All I did when I saw this breakout, we knew that, okay, price is ready to pull back to come down for a retracement. So all I did was draw my Fibonacci tool from here to here. Then you get that 764 rejection. Now, if you go down to the lower time frames on the 1-minute time frame, you're gonna see this beautiful, beautiful range that we formed right over here. We knew that we were bullish. We knew we were bullish, and we knew that price is gonna form a range before coming up. So the Fibonacci was drawn from here to here. We understand that we are very low in the market for a healthy pullback. So all I did was wait for my range to form and waited for confirmations right outside the range. So where was my confirmations right outside the range, guys? It was right over here once we started to break out of that range, keeping stops about 10 pips away, and then started to target new highs up here for about a 1 to 2. I did get out of most of my position over here. It wasn't about a 1 to 2. It was more like, yeah, pretty on the money for a 1 to 2. Now, let's start talking about different setups that I took for sells. So I do want to give you guys both sells and buy setups, that way you guys can understand it. Bro, it's very, very simple trading that I've been really focused on. But at the end of the day, I do want to start catching bigger pushes and not just catching, you know, regular one-on-ones. And this is going to help you guys go for bigger R-to-R trades. Right over here, you can start seeing, okay, we have this area here of resistance. This was a trade I took, I believe it was on it was right over here. It was on Wednesday. So right before I went to sleep on Wednesday, I started to look at the setup. A lot of people would have seen me take this trade right over here, under here, big stops, maybe right above, you know, this area here, and then I would have lost that trade. I've recently started to trade a different style. Different style meaning catching retracements of the pushes rather than the breakout. So right over here, I knew that we were bearish. Lower low. Let me show you guys how we were bearish. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, right? All these areas here are showing me, okay, we're clearly bearish. We should be looking for some sell position. I did see this breakout happen right over here. I saw this breakout start to happen, but I kind of knew that price needed to pull back, right? Because why did price need to pull back? Because if you have this whole zone coming down here, 3 bearish candles, we could get to retrace that push. At that area, I knew, okay, I'm going to be patient on this breakout. I do not want to execute based off this breakout. I want to execute based off the retracement of the push. So right over here, we had this area here. I just drew my Fibonacci from there to there. And guess what you guys get? You guys get a clear golden zone rejection. Golden zone rejection is beautiful. We understand, okay, prices did come down and then start to come back up. So if price starts to come back up, we know that this is just a retracement of the push to then possibly come down and break the lows. Now, as you guys can see, price then started to come down, give me that beautiful retracement, 5618. Price started to come down, give me this bearish signal. I knew that price, this was my entry point in the market. Right over here, I took a sell position once we started to break this low, the previous low. We understand how to read candlesticks. I kept stops right here, 20 pips. Beautiful, beautiful trade. And then price started to give me this ugly candlestick for buyers. If you're in a buy from here and you see this candlestick, you would be pretty scared. So start looking for an opposite push, right? Because you know that if whatever comes up must come down, and whatever comes down must come up. So if it came down first and then start to come back up, tap into your Fibonacci level, you wait for confirmation. My confirmations were very clean on this move. Now all I did was execute at the break of these lows over here, keeping stops right above this high to then target my new low. Once that new low was made, I didn't even take profit on this position, guys. I literally just moved my stops to break even and then let it run, bro. And I ended up taking out somewhere around this area over here. I took her out around with this rejection. Price came up and started to reject that zone, so I just got out for about 1 to 4 risk to reward ratio. So I ended up doing this a couple times this week. So what did I do? All I did was pretty much wait for, okay, where are my ranges? My range is right here. So price was at this area here at the moment. Price was here. I knew that if we broke these lows, we were ready to sell. Then we also have a rejection to that zone right there. So I know, okay, rejection, we're still bearish, especially if we cannot break the previous highs. So these highs right here, we know this could be a lower high unless we break that higher high. Then it would be a higher high formation. But if we stay below this high here, I know that price is most likely going to come down and make a low. Just give us some retracement of that big push. So all I did was wait for a zone to come down. Okay, boom, rejection to the upside, beautiful, boom, breakout candle. Did I execute based off the breakout? No, I didn't. So price started to give us this breakout. This breakout started to happen, and I was like, you know what, guys, let's be a little patient on this push. Price started to come down. I was like, damn, we might have missed it. But I didn't worry because I was waiting for that pullback. That pullback can come at any time. I'm worried about, okay, if price wants to just mop down, go straight down. All I did was grab my Fibonacci tool, guys. Fibonacci from here to here, and waited for a small pullback. This small pullback started to come. Okay, we're getting a pretty bullish candle. What do we need to wait for? I need to wait for some sort of rejection to the upside. Because remember, guys, rejections, what do they mean? If you can see a long wick rejection to this zone, you know that this is pretty much telling you, I don't want to be in this zone. I want to get out of this zone. So all I did was pretty much just wait for it. Boom, we had that area, started to give me that retracement. So all I did, guys, was wait for a bearish engulfing candle, this little trend line. This little trend line is telling me a lot to the story. This is telling me, okay, we have an impulse, right? We have this impulse here, and then we get what? A bullish correction. This bullish correction is showing me, okay, price is not bullish overall, it's bullish short term. So all I was waiting for was for this move to come down over here and start to target my zone down here. So once price gave me this rejection, we're right over here telling me I don't want to be in this zone. This is pretty much, no, I don't want to be in this zone anymore. I want to start trading below it. All I did was waited for a pullback. Once that pullback came, boom, I was in my trade. Right here, I was in my trade, keeping stops right above this zone. Once that zone came, boom, I knew price was ready to go. Retested my entry. Right over here, I moved my stops to break even, and I'm targeting new lows, right? So where are those new lows that I'm targeting? I'm targeting these lows here. Not this low here, because I understand that this is our trend line. We are breaking out of our trend line. Price started to come down, reject. Now I know my stuff should be at break even. Beautifully, guys, it's called the dollar retracement strategy. And then right there, I took out some of my position, left a small runner at this area here, and then started to look to target on my zone down. The price that eventually, I think it did come down to our zone. Beautiful strategy, guys. I really hope you guys took the notes and understand why I'm taking these type of setups now. It's because I used to get faked out. I was getting faked out too much to my liking, so I knew something needed to change. So all I'm waiting for is a pullback. Once that pullback happens, I'm looking to execute that position. Very simple trading, guys. Make sure you guys leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you guys subscribe. I didn't waste any of your time. Just continue watching the videos and you guys will be profitable one day. I love you guys. Peace.